Hey everybody, this is Eric Worre and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. I'm here in Siesta Key, Florida with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jeff Roberti. I'm going to let him talk in a moment, but I will tell you, he's earned over $70 million in commissions in the network marketing profession, more than anybody I've ever known personally.
So when I got introduced to the opportunity, I became a customer first, which, really in this business, the first step is to become a satisfied customer, a raving fan customer, where you have that passion and that belief in your product or service. And then I found out there was an opportunity where an average person with an above average desire could earn an above average income. Decided, look, you can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. For things to change, you got to change, and for things to get better, you've got to get better. And you can have more in life if you become more in life. And as you grow, your business grows. This business is almost like a course in personal development disguised as a business, where you can go out there and grow and become more. And if you help enough other people get what they want in life, you can have everything you want in life. Once you get out of your head and it's not about me, and you truly are going out there to serve and gift and pay, put somebody's needs ahead of your own. The three things in business that I got very clear on early in the business is, one, it's about their needs, not your needs. So if you can go out there and provide something that meets that person's needs, and you can add massive value to their lives, and then you can create those raving fans, whether they're a customer of your product or service, and or become a raving fan of your business and of you.
Right.
It's not who can we sell, it's who can we share this with, who can we gift this. We're putting together like our little memory jogger of list of people that you want to share your product or your service with. My attitude is this, the language, who do I love? Who do I care about? Who can I help? Instead of who can I sell it. It's not the direct selling, it's the direct sharing industry. It's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. People communicate more with feelings than they do words. My attitude is in life, watch the feet, not the lips. Distributors do what you do, not what you tell them to do. In other words, would you follow you? Your work ethic, your discipline, your consistency, your daily method of operation. Are you the type of person that you would follow? My attitude was that I was going to, once I signed up, I'm going to be the best distributor in my organization. I'm going to lead by example, and not only tell people how to do the business, but show them, they'll try it, and they'll do it. So going out there and leading, not pushing. It's easier to lead than push. And setting the example, leading by example. What you get paid for is sharing the story, telling the story, sharing your product story, sharing your opportunity story, sharing your story. At the end of the day, long-term relationships equal long-term success. There's this thing called safety in numbers. There's this thing called the law of averages. And I understood in the very beginning that if you talk to some people, you can make some money. If you talk to lots of people, you got an opportunity to become very wealthy. Instead of just going out there and setting some low standards, I said, well, if it's 2 a day, what if I talk to 20 a day or beyond that? Anything you do consistently over and over again, you get better and better at doing it. A few simple disciplines done consistently over and over again equal multiple rewards.
Right.
And an example might be, let's say you talk to 3 people a day. And you do that for a few days, nothing much happens. But you do that for a few weeks, and then a few months, and then by the end of the year, you've talked to what, almost 1,000 people?
Right.
Do you think you'd get better at telling the story?
Absolutely.
Do you think you'd start to come from more of a position of strength and have that voice of authority and that congruency and that conviction and that passion? Absolutely. Do you think that maybe you'd have some momentum in your business? And all of a sudden, maybe some of the people on your team would start doing the same thing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you've got so much momentum going from doing it over and over again consistently that maybe sometimes the results you see this month is not a result of what you did this month. It's what you did last month.
Right.
Or this year's from last year.
Right.
Because you got to have that consistency, that discipline. that work ethic, consistency of effort, work ethic, and attitude.
Yeah.
You get paid just as much for a no as you do a yes.
Yeah.
And in the very beginning, I got clear on how do you overcome this fear of rejection? Where somebody tells you no, your product's no good, or your business, or you're no good. How do you get past that? And sometimes, I ask people, do you have any negative family members out there?
Yeah.
If you can get past your family, you can become a millionaire in this business. My mom's still waiting for me to get a real job. But, you're going to have some situations where people are going to poo-poo it.
Right.
They're going to be negative. Well, it doesn't matter whether you buy their story, whether they buy your story. What matters is whether you buy their story.
Right.
You get paid just as much for a no as you do a yes. What you really get paid for is telling the story. Mm-hmm. The sale is a result. The cause and what you really get paid for is consistently sharing that story. So let's take an example. Let's say you talk to 10 people a day. And out of the 10 a day, you get one yes. Well, that feels really good. How do you manage the other 9? The other 9 no's? Well, instead of dividing the sale by 1, what if you divided it by 10? And let's say on the one sale you made $50. And so now how do you manage the other 9 no's? Well, instead of dividing it by 1, which is 50, for every person you talk to, it was worth what?
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
So let's say you're on the phone with someone and you're sharing your product or you're sharing your opportunity, and they say, that product's no good, that business is no good, and you're no good, and you guys should all be thrown in jail. I'd say, thank you very much, I got your $5 anyway, and hang up the phone. Right? Because it doesn't matter.
Right.
I understand that there's this thing called safety in numbers. There's the law of averages.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a baseball player goes up to the plate, and he gets paid for swinging the bat, right? And if you hit the ball, you strike out 7 out of 10 times. You hit the ball 3 out of 10 times. Back 300. They pay you $4 million a year. You don't have to bat 1,000%. I always tell people this: say less to more. People, don't worry about the ones you can't sell. Worry about the ones you can't see. There's this thing I believe.
Wait, say that again.
Don't worry about the ones you can't sell. Worry about all the ones you can't see. How many people are in the United States?
300 million.
300 million. But yet we tend to focus on the few that you
can't sell versus you can't see. In other words, get in front of some more people.
At the end of the day, come on. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Right. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Right.
So, hey, it doesn't mean I don't care about somebody. It's kind of like I got this big long line of people from here to infinity, and if you're not interested, that's okay. Go ahead, back of the line. I talk to the next person.
Right.
And I put them on what I might call my drip list.
Yeah.
Where I still drip on them, I still love them, I still care about them, but they just may not be ready.
Right.
So, it's a series of exposures. It's not an event.
Right.
So it's a process. But you keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You keep moving forward with your passion, your belief, your congruency, your conviction, your work ethic, your discipline, your leading. The number one reason people fail in this business is they start to listen to negative people. Great word to put in your vocabulary for those of you that are out there. Next. Next. It's okay. If somebody doesn't want to do it, next.
Right.
It's all right. It's okay to move on to the next person.
Yeah.
When I find somebody that does say yes, well, then it's not you go do it. Let's do it together.
Right.
Life's not about me. Life's about we.
Right.
Taking the spotlight off of you and shining it on someone else.
Right.
And you embrace that person and their contacts, your presentation, and you start chasing the business and help them experience success immediately by putting on some customers and starting to build up a team. And, they start to grow. They start to become more.
Right.
And you see that process and that you build that relationship.
Right.
And, you get to a point where you've duplicated yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't stay in the management mode and keep working with that same person forever. Right? Then you go off and do it again. You keep stretching and stay in the recruiting and the building and the building mode.
Right.
Where you keep building new teams. The first step is, and if you don't believe in the product, if you don't truly or believe in the product and become a customer, raving fan customer of the product, there's really no step two.
Yeah.
Because we're going to build this on rock, not sand. We're going to build this on a solid foundation. Let me show you how you can get your product for free. Let's refer a few
Little
people,
steps.
some baby steps. Let me show you how I can get you up to $500 to $1,000 a month. The majority of the people on this planet, an extra $500 to $1,000 a month is a life changer.
Yeah.
All of a sudden saves their marriage, their home, their car, whatever it is. So it's some steps. And sometimes it's hard for somebody to believe more than 2 or 3 times what they've ever made in their life, more than double. You start. It's crazy. There's the potential to become financially independent in our business. Absolutely. I tell people, hey, you give me 3 to 5 years, I'll show you how to compress a lifetime worth of work in what we do in the next 3 to 5 years. You'll look back and say, this was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Our business is very attractive. It's the magic of part-time, where you can start a part-time home-based business, flexible hours, low investment, low fixed overhead, part-time, immediate income, be able to expand your business not only in this country, but the 20-plus countries we're doing business in, and I'll show you how you can get it started. When you got a little part-time business going on here, that's why you see a lot of women come into our business. Because, their spiritual life, their family life is their priority. And then if they can have a part-time business that they can start out of their home and network and share something that they believe in, a lot of times, the guy at first will be like, well, that's her business.
Right.
Starts to have a little success, well, it's our business. And then once it's successful, my idea, right? My business. I like to under-promise and over-deliver. If network marketing has a bad reputation, it's because people, they put these unrealistic expectations out there. I worked extremely hard building my business in 20 plus countries to have this type of residual income. It didn't happen overnight.
Right.
But I also understood that if I was consistent long enough and invested back into my business and back into people and kept building, kept staying in the recruiting mode, there was an opportunity to take it from part-time to full-time to lifetime to, your career.
Yeah.
Success without fulfillment is failure. Hey, when you love what you do and you get to add value to people's lives, there's nothing more rewarding than that. The law of the universe, all things either grow or they die.
Yeah.
You're either climbing or you're either sliding. And it's just like contribution. Either you contribute or you're eliminated. Really, when I look at my income, it's a measuring stick.
Yeah.
The more lives I've touched, the bigger impact I've had, the bigger difference I've made, that shows up in that check. Because the only way you're successful is if you help other people. But what I really market is hope. I market hope. I market opportunity. I market dreams. Sign here, win here. I believe in you. And, sometimes you turn on CNN, constant negative news, and you can just live in fear, paralyze yourself, watching all the negative stuff that's out there, the doom and gloom, and I show up as a breath of fresh air saying, hey, here's a product that can make a huge impact on your health, and here's an opportunity for another need that's out there, which is wealth, prosperity.
Yeah.
So, I'm marketing. I'm just as passionate about the opportunity as I am the product with people. You sell results, not ingredients. Summarize our business, it would be this: grow me, serve you. As you grow, your business grows. And if your focus is on serving others, like I said at the beginning, I got this from Tony. He talked about, where you're putting their needs ahead of your own. You're not giving to get. You're not measuring what you get in return. You're truly there to put that person's needs ahead of yours. Number 2, you're there to add massive value to their lives. Providing that value. And number 3, creating that raving fan, building that relationship, that long-term relationship. I always joke with people. I say, I got 2 hobbies in the business: collecting friends and collecting money. And you should see the collection. You might have over 1 million customers, but 10% of those, 100,000 of them, have become distributors representatives started their own home-based business because they love the product.
So about 90.
And it's not and here's what I tell people. When you know what you know, it's not an opportunity, it's a responsibility. How could I not go out there and share this product or this opportunity with you?
Once you know it.
Once I know it. First of all, you got to find a product or service that you truly believe in yourself. And then you've got to find some leadership, the people that are running the company, that have a long-term vision, a long-term plan, like I found with Jay. And, and then a system that is duplicatable, where new people come in and they're having success, not just the people at the top.
Right.
And, and then you got to stick with it. It's not just jumping around and, from deal to deal and, trying to, you've got a good business when you can't screw up your own business.
Yeah.
Even if I left, everybody would still stay. It takes some time. It takes that pig-headed discipline, that consistency, where you just got to do it consistently day in and day out. It's like putting one foot in front of the other, going from point A to point B. The majority of the people are just going to be users.
Yeah.
85%, they're just going to do it part-time sometime, and that's okay, and that's fine. But you get that, that 10% or that 5% or that 2% that really want it. And that's the ones you really lock in with and build some teams with.
Yeah.
There's 4 stages. There's the production stage, and there's what I would call the management stage. And then, then there's the overseer. You kind of oversee the managers that manage the producers. And then there's the overseer of the overseers,
right.
That are overseeing the overseers to make sure they're managing the producers and doing their job.
Right.
Well, when you get into that overseer position and all you're doing is dealing with problems and managing and overseeing people, then the business is, it starts to become stressful and you need a break and I need a time out. And it's no longer fun. If you want to get back into the fun, the juice of the business, that's getting back into the production phase. So where you produce, where you're putting on new business. You got that new baby distributor, they got a good positive attitude and a fresh, warm market. Sometimes it's easier to give birth than raise the dead. Instead of trying to whip that dead horse, they don't want it anymore, it's okay. They're going to do what they're going to do. Why not go out and get somebody that wants it, that's got some desire, it's got some hunger,
right,
and put on that new front line. Here's my advice to some of you that have been out there for a while. If your business is flattened out or it's stagnant, go back out and do what you did in the beginning that got you to that top position in your company. Go back into the recruiting, the production, the building phase. Go back out there and put on. Nothing will ignite your business more than putting on 5 new front lines. Share with people is what we call the 3-foot rule. I don't know if you've heard of the 3-foot rule.
Yeah.
If somebody gets in within 3 feet of you,
you got to tell the story.
You talk to them.
Right.
You make a connection. You build some rapport. Hey, turn off your phone. Get off your Crackberry or your iPod or iPhone or whatever you're on and talk to the person next to you.
Right.
Put a smile on your face.
Right.
Say hello to meet somebody. Ask a question. Make a friend. Instead of going to a meal or having a meal at a restaurant, how about making a connection with that waiter? I make everyone part of my team. Making friends, collecting those friends, building those new relationships. And once you could drop me literally, Eric, out of an airplane, with a parachute, hopefully, and a backpack maybe with some products and a few brochures, land me anywhere in the world, and within 90 days I could have a thriving business and not know a soul there.
Right.
Because I would create a warm market.
Right.
And once I found somebody, then I chase their contacts, right? And then those people know people, and then they know people, so it just starts to expand. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Lighten up and your sales will brighten up. Short pencil's better than a long memory. First of all. And it's not when you remember, it's when you can't forget. And I take notes not as if I'm only taking notes for myself, but as if I'm going to teach this to someone. The fastest path to mastery is not only to apply it and integrate it into your life, but to teach it, to share it. So my presentation, the basics, the fundamentals of what our business is all about, that doesn't change. Like I said, concepts are constant. Techniques vary. There's different means and ways. So yeah, it's easier to get a new audience than it is a new presentation. I mean, when you've got something that works, keep it simple, keep it duplicatable. There's a handful of things I do consistently every day. Number one is I share my product. You share your opportunity. You build relationships. The fortune is in the follow-up. You build for events, one event to the next. And then you learn how to master big impending events. Like when we have a conference, a convention, I'm a firm believer to invest back into your business and get people to the big events. Count the calendar down going into the days right into the big conference and load up the dance with a freshman class and light them up and see them all going home with that.
I want to talk about that
light in their eyes.
Yeah.
But the other thing is personal development. What books are you reading? What are you listening to consistently every day? Different CDs or different things that you're feeding your mind with. Who you spending time with? Who you spend time with is who you become. You want to make sure that you love your family, but choose your friends. Yeah. Sometimes people. Great. You got a chance here to that selection process of who you're going to spend time with, that peer group, what level they play at, what standards they have. It's one of the things I like about Tony's Platinum Club. Is I'm around a peer group. They're at learning environment where everybody ups their game. But personal development, the three things I do consistently every day is feed the mind, condition the body, and connect spiritually. Are you the type of person that's inspiring to be around? Success breeds success.
Right.
And sometimes I'm around people and they're like, Jeff, if it's half as good as you make it sound, I want in. I'm just being around you, that energy, that passion, that enthusiasm, just that belief, that emotional sincerity.
Sure.
That you have. So, so if you're doing something consistently long enough and you've got enough people in that pool of people that you've shared this with, as you build towards your big conference, now you've got a group, you've got some momentum, a group of people that you can pull into the big event. Like I said, it's easier to lead than it is to push. Right. And if people see you leading and you're showing up with a new freshman class of baby distributors that are excited and enthusiastic and it's all new for them, and and you're there taking notes, and it's like your very first conference, and you're laughing and you're crying and you're playing full out and you're leading by example there. That's inspiring to other people. They see that. If you do the activity consistently over and over long enough, the results will happen. Right. You'll achieve those positions. You'll build a business that'll be solid and have the residual income or self-sustaining or whatever word that somebody wants to attach to it. Is if you truly are out there building a business, that you are putting that spotlight on others, that you are truly focusing on, like I said, meeting their needs, adding value to their lives, and creating those raving fans. And not measuring what you're getting in return. That you are truly out there. It's almost like the franchise business. If you've got a successful business model, then you want to franchise that out. It's almost like a poor man's franchise. You don't have to invest thousands of dollars. You can start with very little investment and very little fixed cost and build a business with a little sweat equity that could start to grow. And if you can duplicate that over and over again with people, whether it's in your local, area, or whether if you expand it on a state level or a national level or an international level, that you could build something, that truly could have that residual income. So grow me, serve you, baby.
Grow me, serve you, because it is a stone cold fact that we do have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have a great day, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.